Saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania. I just rushing back, getting some acetaminophen for that headache I said I've got. Got a bit of a headache here. I didn't sleep well last night. So let me take a couple acetaminophen tablets there really quickly, and hopefully that'll make that headache go away. It's not dehydration. I just went to the restroom and definitely not getting the dark color there, so it's just didn't sleep well. Anyway, thanks for joining us once again. Let me listen to the sound quality here, do a sound check. 1, 2, 3. Sound quality here, do a sound. That sounds sexy. We'll go with that. All right. Wow. Thank you, those of you tuning in now, for your patience awaiting the news today. But I was busy covering a press conference, which was short notice, from New Orleans on the terror attack that took place there. So we covered that for about 45 minutes. And now we're here live with the news. Hopefully you can hang around. And we had 100 plus people show up for that. So not nearly as many people here at the moment for the news. Hopefully more people will show up. But we're going to get to the news and cover it. First off, I want to thank everybody as we start the new year. It's been a good start to the new year so far as regarding production and people tuning in and watching things. Right now I'm getting about 700, 800 people per hour watching my Uns Fati Kaki video of reactions from Mitchell's Plain residents to Knobs Mkize's comments. Also, the other one is brushing up against 40,000. Let me see if it went over 40,000 yet. That is the one I did on Knobs a few days ago. That's actually over 40,000, 41,000. It's still going. Wow, that surged today. Got, oh, come on, YouTube. 800, 700, 1,500 views in an hour and a half period there. That's pretty cool. 130 subscribers from it. So that's pushing up 41,000. That could be one of the best performing videos ever had. So thank you to everyone who has helped push that one up there. And the viewership. We've had a number of good days in a row here. The best we've had since I was in South Africa back in, for the covering the elections back in May and June. Over the past few days, on the 29th, we had 20,379 views. Even in the good old days of this original channel, when I used to get 10 to 15,000 views every single day, we didn't average 20,000 per day normally. So 20,379, that was Sunday. On Monday, we had 24,129 views. On Tuesday, we had 24,260 views. And Wednesday, January 1st, New Year's Day, we had 29,000 views. Right now, we're brushing up against 59,750 views in the last 48 hours. Now, for people who watch big channels like Redacted or Steven Crowder or something like that, that's going to be like, that's nothing. But, you know, with this channel not being actively promoted for the most part by the platform, that's actually pretty good. So thank you all for doing it. And I really do appreciate it. I've put out videos that are really getting some attention, and I think it's warranted. It's about time. So we're off to a good start for 2024. From a perspective of getting views, hopefully I won't have more people doing stupid racist things that will keep me making videos, and people will tune in for the news and for analysis. Anyway, so back to, this has got me jazzed up to go back to doing my videos on history, which I had planned to do but had not finished because nobody was watching the program. All right, so, excuse me. JFM is here. It says, got here first. That's new. That is a new one. Hendo is here. Welcome. Vilma Rasmus, John Huchin, DeBaram. Eric is here. Shawnee Grows. PK, not worried. The last 2 years have been crap show. Yeah, this year would definitely be better. Looks like 2020 is going to be a long, eventful year. Yeah, definitely be an interesting year. Mark Purchase is back. Good to see you again. And then who else have we got here in the chat? Chris Ehlers is here. Might be my own bias, but I'm looking lions lurking in the grass around that singer. I really don't know what that means. Charles Van Alton, the voice of reason, is here. Good to see you again, Charles. Sue Walsh is in. Dylan Combrick, Robert Z.A. Mr. B is back. Okay. And Allison Johnson, Shireen. Hey, how's it going there, Shireen? It's been a while. Haven't seen you in the chat. And Arthur Chokes is back. What is a honeypot scam? Well, that's a whole different topic. And then people stay in jobs too long. If you switch employment, you can get a 15% increase. When you stay at a job, most likely get an increase of 0 to 8%, depending on the company did good. Well, that's one thing I liked about the military. Your raises had nothing to do with performance of the company. It had to do with, you know, your rank, your upper mobility, and your longevity. Yeah, so what else I liked about it is I did numerous jobs. I had different jobs all the time. Every year, year and a half, 2 years, I had a brand new job with new responsibility, greater responsibility. I went from a private whose only job was to make sure the generators were running properly, get the camouflage nets up, and tune in the network, and then break down the vehicles and maintenance. That was my job, to someone who ran a $3 billion a year program with a global workforce. Yeah, that's ever increasing responsibility. Somewhat tallish brown grass, one person in the middle of it, seems like a recipe for bad thing. She's standing in the grass next to the Fortrekker monument. You can see cars in the background. I don't think there's any lions there. Okay, I got your point. Yeah, Giselle recorded that at the Fortrekker monument. That's what that was. So, all right, for those who don't recognize the scenery. All right, 72 people here. We're back. We're shifting back towards a bigger crowd. So let's get to it. Who are you calling a baboon? You call me a baboon! Who are you to call me a baboon? No, I'm sorry. I called you Babu. Babu. I was looking for my Babu. I'm sorry to make light of it, folks, but this is another instance of people running off in the mouth. I made another video this morning about this particular incident in which I talked about how Mighty Jamie, well, not Mighty Jamie, he didn't talk about this, but let's not put Mighty Jamie in the conversation. But this guy, Kogo Polo, published this TV presenter online without any context, without any information. And then the media runs with a story, and they don't bother to ask basic questions like, has anybody interviewed the people involved? Is there footage of them actually saying these things? Unlikely. Is there surveillance footage of the Food Lovers Market in Four Ways? Is there surveillance footage of the parking lot at Four Ways? Has anyone filed a criminal complaint? Has anyone gone to the police? Is there a police report? Not one of these questions was addressed. All that News 24 did, Nicole McCain did in her story today, was say that we tried to attempt to contact Four Ways and they didn't respond. Oh, so Four Ways would be the only organization that could respond to this. You could contact the security company that provides security at Four Ways. You could contact the local police station. You could seek out people and ask for tips. You have your tip line, and News 24 has a tip line. Yet none of this has been addressed. That's not journalism. That is red journalism. That is yellow journalism. It's garbage, 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 garbage. Yeah, so Hendo's Penguins. What the heck is going on there? Krokotopi's back. Welcome to you. Yeah, so who are you calling a baboon? No, I called you Babu. Babu. I'm looking for my Babu. Anyway, the African Transformation Movement and the Patriotic Alliance condemn the alleged racist incident in Joburg Food Lovers Market. So here's the issue I have with this. Footage of an apparent racist incident. How is it apparent? How is it apparent? It's not apparent. There's nothing apparent racist in the video. Unless you consider the behavior of the black woman to be racist because she was verbally assaulting white people. I'm not considering that to be racist. That's the only thing here. The white guy said nothing in the video. The white woman, in exasperation when this woman kept haranguing her, said, I'm a racist. There's no apparent racism in there. Now, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. What it does mean is it's not caught on video. And for the news media to call it an apparent racism when they've not interviewed any of the people involved, they've not gotten a police report, they've not confirmed there's even been a police charge filed, they've done nothing. They haven't looked at any video surveillance, they've done nothing. Except, Food Lovers wouldn't comment. Garbage. Arthur says, I've been racially accosted by a white man, but I said nothing because I didn't record the incident, so no one would believe me anyway. People should record 24/7. No, they shouldn't. That's pretty sad. It's sad that the United Kingdom is a surveillance society where there's a camera on every building, every traffic light, every road, every house, every office. No one has privacy in the United Kingdom. And still, people are murdered. Women are raped. Children are molested. Stores are robbed. It doesn't stop anything. It just makes it easier for them to prosecute the criminals, but it invades your privacy. So no, Arthur, I don't agree you should record everything. First off, you need people's consent to record. Keep that in mind. Now, public incident, different story. You're in public, different. Yep. Well, the court has declared the city of Johannesburg's bogus VIP protection plan extended to a host of ANC officials to be unconstitutional. Armies of security guards that insulate public office bearers and bubbles are not required, says Judge Stuart Wilson. Johannesburg High Court has declared the city of Johannesburg's March 2024 resolution to allocate 8 VIP protection officers to the mayor unconstitutional, invalid, and set it aside. Yes! Speaker was given 8, while members of the council's mayor committee and chairs of 2 committees were each afforded between 2 and 5 personnel protection officers in yet another cater enrichment and patronage hiring episode. yeah, there's no need for this coverage. These people are not under threat. They're not in a position that warrants that. Tragic story, horrific behavior of South Africans, and I don't know what happened here. Hopefully I can get more information on this. Supposition is not something to go on, but I fear that it may have been one of the kids that actually helped that did this. But a police officer was shot in cold blood and murdered in the Eastern Cape when his vehicle broke down, and kids intervened to help push. A newly enlisted police officer was shot and killed in the line of duty. Constable Talon Andrews died when the police van he was patrolling broke down in a notorious neighborhood. Actually, that's not accurate. I'm sorry, Talon Bezuidenhout. He didn't die when his vehicle broke down. He was murdered after his vehicle broke down. You make it sound like he died because of the car or the vehicle. No. His grieving father, Brett Andrews, remembered him as a lovable, good person who was proud to serve his community and country. According to police, Callan and his partner were conducting patrols when the van broke down. To start the vehicle, Callan and residents, including several children, pushed it from behind while his partner was behind the wheel. However, in an incident, a shot went off. The driver heard a shot being fired, and on inspection, he discovered that the constable had been shot in the head. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The firearm of the deceased constable was also missing. An investigation is underway, and no arrests have been made. So, the police officer got out of the vehicle to push the vehicle, to start it, ostensibly. It must be a standard transmission, not automatic. And kids helped. Who took his firearm out of his holster and then shot him in the head? Or shot him? Who did that? One of the kids? And where's the firearm? Where are the kids that offered to help? So this 30-year-old man, this colored South African, was butchered in the streets protecting the public by someone who stole his firearm? We don't know. How about some serious investigation into this? The media are so disappointing in South Africa. The MK party suspends 3 members in the KwaZulu-Natal legislature. Well, this party just can't get its act together. They change leadership every time they change their socks. They change members of the party every time they change their underwear, which is once every 3 weeks. The MK party leader, Jacob Zuma, and the National High Command has suspended 3 members from the KZN legislature. The actions against Tobani Zuma, Sifiso Zuma, and Chief Whip Kwazi Mbonjamwa was for alleged irregularities and transgressions of the party's constitution. Does the party even have a constitution? It's like 5 minutes old. Wow. Mbonjwa will be immediately removed as chief whip and suspended as a member of the legislature pending outcomes of the disciplinary process. Tobani Zuma has been suspended as a member of the KZN legislature with immediate effect pending the outcomes of the disciplinary process. Sifiso Zuma has been issued a cautionary suspension as caucus manager with immediate effect pending the outcomes of the disciplinary process. Wow. Mbonjwa was accused of refusing to hand over control of the party's bank accounts in a leaked letter signed by Secretary General Floyd Shivambu. Well, that's just messed up. Congratulations, Fly Sapphire. Now, I know that Arctic doesn't like this, but I promote Sapphire because I've had pleasant experiences and find their service to be highly reliable. I've been, I think, sort of misled, or I allowed myself misled once or twice when it comes to baggage. I paid for extra baggage and then was denied and had to pay an extra charge, but that was probably my error, not theirs. So I've frequently sung the praises of Fly Sapphire, which is largely on time and is reliable, and I've had great experiences with them. Not that I've had bad experiences with Airline. They're just a little too pricey and don't always go where I want to go with the frequency I need to go there. However, Fly Sapphire is one of the most timely airlines on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. In a new report coming out about the most punctual airlines in the world, for a domestic airline, it's unbelievable. This report comes from Cirium, published today, January 2nd. And Fly Sapphire has done very, very well. According to the report, a total of 57,000 flights, that's 97% tracked. Fly Sapphire had an on-time arrival rate of just under 94%. Its completion factor, that's the flights that actually complete, is 99.86%. Achieving an impressive 93.82% of flights arriving on schedule, this milestone highlights Fly Sapphire's operational excellence and reliability, solidifying its status as a standout carrier in a competitive industry. There you go, 100%. There you go. So Fly Sapphire is on time and doing the job. Well, the government is still trying to seize the bank assets of Louis Liebenberg, the diamond trader, whom they've accused of massive fraud. But they've been trying to take his money for years. They initially got the money and it was declared to be an illegal seizure, and they're still fighting to take his money. State's bid to wrest control of Louis Liebenberg's bank accounts heads to the Supreme Court of Appeal. In 2021, the National Director of Public Prosecution secured a preservation order freezing the bank accounts belonging to Louis Liebenberg, Tariomix co-director Ronell Kleinhans. That order was overturned, and after being refused to leave to appeal by the High Court, they went back to the Supreme Court of Appeal. And the Supreme Court of Appeal has now set a hearing for February 20th of 2025. In the meantime, Louis Liebenberg remains in prison after he rescinded his bail application, and his wife, Desi, is in prison because she was denied bail. Wow. Liebenberg and his wife, Desi, will remain behind bars until February, with the former having abandoned bail and the latter having been denied. Why has Desi Liebenberg been denied bail? Child molesters are released on their own recognizance in Gauteng. We have a former teacher who's accused of molesting boys who was released without even bail for the holiday season, just in time to go diddle more kids. Why is that allowed? You had a woman supposedly married to, by the way, they just got married this past year. I'm not defending her. I'm just asking the question, why is she denied bail? Do they have a legitimate basis to deny this woman bail and keep her in prison? Yeah, I think the caterers already got the Liebenberg's money. It's gone. They just got it quicker than they normally get it because Louis gave money to caterers. Well, congratulations to Cape Town Chief Executive Officer of Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, who's been awarded the OBE, the Order of the British Empire, by King Charles III. King Charles II didn't have a very good ending. David Green, CEO of Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, Cape Town, and chairman of the Zeitz MOCAA Museum, Cape Town, has been awarded Officer of the Order of the British Empire for his outstanding contributions to UK-South Africa relations. Now, why? Because it's called the Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, named after 19th century British monarch and her husband? Is that why he gets it? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll take one then. As a British citizen, Green has championed initiatives that underscore the shared histories and collaborative potential of the two nations, further enhancing Cape Town's reputation as a global tourism hub. Okay. All right. OBE. Western Cape police arrest 10 people after beachgoers and officers clash over alcohol. Well, once again, booze is not something people can handle. Western Cape police arrested 10 people for public violence after an attack on a police officer at Fishhook. Beachgoers turned violent after officers detained locals, allegedly for consuming alcohol on the beach. In the social media videos and pictures of the arrest, a large group of people can be seen rallying around a marked law enforcement vehicle, shouting, screaming, and scolding officers who are trying to detain someone. People just cannot handle their booze. Stop it already. Zimbabwe has abolished the death penalty. Okay. Who cares? It's been a moratorium on executions since 2005, and now they've abolished it. Amnesty International, of course, praises the act as historic, but urges complete abolition of the death penalty. So they can still have the death penalty in a state emergency. So the state government can declare an emergency and have the death penalty. In neighboring Mozambique, a song is inspiring the protests taking place there, and this one covered by the New York Times of all places. Povo no Poda, or Power in People, by the rap star Azagaya, has become an unofficial anthem of the protest over a disputed election. Here they are chanting the song in front of security forces outside the outskirts of Maputo. Whoa, Povo no Podo. Wow. The men sang along, repeating the refrain as it was emblazoned in the black t-shirts they wore in a town an hour outside Maputo. Power in People, as the song's title translates in English, has become the unofficial anthem of a mass uprising in the southern African nation. Wow. You got a rap star who's fueling it. There you go. The Congo has sentenced 13 soldiers to death in order to get good order and discipline in the military. That's a pretty steep price to pay. The Congolese military tribunal sentenced 13 soldiers to death on charge including murder, looting, and cowardice in what military authorities said was a drive to improve army discipline. Soldiers were sentenced on Tuesday in the town of Lubero in the DRC in eastern North Kivu. Some of the soldiers who were supposed to be fighting the enemy at the front have shown a kind of indiscipline. We had to organize this educational trial to set things right. Overall, 24 soldiers stood trial. In addition to those handed death sentences, 4 received 2 to 10 year sentences, 6 were acquitted, and 1's case was deferred for further investigation. All those convicted pled not guilty and have 5 days to appeal their sentence. Wow, boy, that's a lot of time to put together a defense. Okay, wow. Death sentence. You have 5 days to respond. I didn't get the email. Good Lord. 27 criminal alien invaders die off the coast of Tunisia, and 83 are rescued as ships sink. 27 criminal alien invaders, including women and children, died after 2 boats capsized off central Tunisia, with 83 people rescued. The rescued and dead passengers who were found off the Kerneka Islands were aiming to reach Europe, and all were from sub-Saharan African countries. Well, stop invading Europe, and you won't die in boats miserably. In Kenya, a huge piece of space debris lands. Thankfully, it's in a remote area, but look at this piece of space debris, folks. Man, that is massive. Good Lord. Wow, that's crazy. 1,100 pounds fell in a remote village of Kenya. Looky there, man. That's just crazy. Look at that thing. It's a separation ring from a launch rocket. Man, is it SpaceX? Wow. Is it SpaceX? Wow, that's crazy. Palestinian Authority is taking on militant Hamas members in the West Bank. Wow, the Palestinians are going against Palestinians now. Weeks of deadly fighting have marked the most serious clash between Palestinian factions in years. Here are Palestinian security forces standing guard during a funeral for a victim of clashes in the West Bank city of Jenin. Struggle between Palestinian factions gained new urgency as Israeli military battered Hamas in Gaza over the past 15 months, leaving a leadership vacuum in the territory. The Palestinian Authority has support in the West, while the militant groups are backed by Iran and deeply rooted in Palestinian society. Well, the West Bank heats up of the Jordan River. South Korea raids the offices of the airline Jeju involved in the plane crash. The search warrant lists charges of professional negligence resulting in the death of 179 people. Professional negligence. Okay, before we go any further in the story, we were told that a potential bird strike caused this issue. But then we all saw with our own eyes the fact that the plane landed at a high rate of speed. The velocity was too high. The landing gear did not extend. And there was a concrete barrier at the end of the runway which obliterated the aircraft and killed 179 people. So what professional negligence could possibly be coming from that, unless something wasn't done with the aircraft properly, maintenance-wise or repair-wise, that led to this? The pilot had 6,800 hours of flying time, so it can't be inexperience. So what's going on in Korea? South Korean police raided the offices of the airline airport operator that were involved in this. The search warrant issued in charge of professional negligence. Roughly 30 investigators on Thursday collected evidence from Jeju's office in Seoul, as well as the Moon Airport and its Regional Aviation Administration Office. No one has been charged so far. Under South Korean law, professional or gross negligence that results in death can carry punishment of up to 5 years in prison. Shares of the airline have fallen 13% this week, while thousands of travelers have canceled their reservations with the budget airline. The country's CEO is banned from leaving the country. The airline, named after a South African resort island, will cooperate with police. Wow. The investigations will focus on the communications between the control tower and the pilots, particularly during the flight's chaotic final 6 minutes, featuring multiple attempts to land, mayday alerts over a bird strike, and an abrupt belly landing made roughly halfway down the airport's Seoul runway. Also look to see whether they're following regulations and proper maintenance of the jet. So they do an arrest warrant and do a raid without even having proof that something went wrong. There's something very wrong in South Korea where they're impeaching political leaders left and right without any evidence, and now they're charging people with crimes or planning to charge them with crimes with no evidence. You need an investigation first. France's President Emmanuel Macron says that, well, the snap parliamentary elections probably caused more issues than solutions. Ya think? French President Emmanuel Macron issued a mea culpa after he shocked the nation halfway through the year by calling early elections. Yep. It was a gamble that backfired when voters delivered a hung parliament, which has pulled Macron in multiple directions since then. In a televised address ahead of New Year's celebrations, Macron said, "I have to recognize tonight that the dissolution has, for the moment, brought more divisions to the assembly than solutions for French people. I fully acknowledge that." Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. We did cover the press conference previously of the live update from New Orleans as the governor, the mayor, the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms all spoke and talked about what was happening after a jihadist from Texas drove into the Bourbon Street quarter and killed 14 people. Wow. They are now claiming he acted alone after telling us that 4 or 5 other people were involved in it yesterday. The FBI does not know what it's doing and really needs to control their communications far better than they're doing it. The man behind the deadly New Year's Day attack in New Orleans made videos discussing ISIS allegiance and a desire to kill family. Law enforcement officials said Shamsud Din Bahar Jabbar recorded the videos while he drove from Texas, Louisiana to carry out his rampage that left at least 15 people dead. We recorded them where they posted. If they were posted on social media and nobody saw this and reported it, that's a scary thought. It's unclear how long before the attack the videos were recorded. The military veteran turned terrorist also allegedly talked about his divorce and a plot to kill his family members under the guise of celebration. I did report my initial video on @Real Chris Wyatt. I'm the only journalist that I'm aware of anywhere in the world until now who reported this guy went through a divorce in 2020 with minor children involved. Look for my video on @Real Chris Wyatt. I said we don't know if that was a motivating factor or a cause or approximate cause of what happened here, but I did, through my investigation, discover that he had been involved in a divorce. Authorities say he was carrying a pistol and a rifle. At least 3 possible improvised explosive devices were found near the crime scene. They say 2 now, not 3. Yep. All right. Wow. Well, the New Year's violence in New Orleans and Las Vegas, 2 major holiday destinations and travel event locations, Las Vegas, Sin City, and Bourbon Street in New Orleans for Mardi Gras and Super Bowl and Sugar Bowl and so many other things, have brought chaos and fear to the United States. Deadly vehicle incidents in a pair of U.S. tourist hubs rattled the country at the start of the new year as law enforcement warned of a heightened threat of extremism and violence ahead. The New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick tried to reassure people, said this is not just an act of terrorism, it's evil. We have a plan. We know what to do. We're going to get these people. Get these people? What people? The FBI said only 1 person is involved. So these people are gotten. He's dead. When did he report on it, Chris? Did he report it before I posted my video? Or did he copy my video? All right, so I'm not the only person reported on it. The driver of the Tesla blasts identified as U.S. Army veteran. Yeah, we know this already. We know this. This is pretty scary, folks. Also, the misrepresentation of this being falsely reported by people who don't know anything about the military is very, very scary. I didn't say that Tusi was not legit. I'm just asking when he published it before or after me. The driver of the Tesla Cybertruck that caught fire is a U.S. Army serving member, not a veteran. He's a serving member. Matthew Livelsberger, 37 years old, was killed in an explosion. Wow. In Las Vegas. So the driver of that Tesla truck served at the same base in New Orleans. Now, this again is what the media reports. It's not a base. It's an installation or a post. Army veteran from Colorado identified Thursday as a driver who died in a Tesla. He's law enforcement officials say Matthew Liversberg rented the truck in his home state and drove to Nevada to carry out the explosion that killed himself and injured 7 bystanders. He served the same Army post as Jabbar. Well, what post was that? They're not telling us that. That's just a claim they're making. Both of them did, however, we know, rent their trucks through Turo. Yeah. What we also know about Liversberger is several other things. Independent's done a pretty good job putting this together in short notice here. They said that there's a photograph of him. They're investigating a possible link between the two of them. They were both in the Middle East, and so maybe that's where a base was that they worked at. According to U.S. Law enforcement sources, he was on active duty with the Army, serving in Germany, and was on leave in Colorado at the time of the incident. His wife had not heard from him several days prior to the incident. Livelsberger spent 18 of his 19-year Army career in Special Forces. His most recent role from November 2024 is listed as a remote and autonomous systems manager in the Army. He often comment on posts from military personnel, and a comment on one viral post from an Air Force veteran responded to a question noting that the government was responsible for making people believe they were responsible for other student debt. Erasing student debts was a signature Biden-era policy. So lots of stuff here about him. His wife, Sarah Livelsberger, shared photographs of the two together. The last one was posted in 2016. So are they even still together? That's an old account. And she highlights his 28th birthday. Well, he's 37 now, so that's a decade ago. So here's his LinkedIn page. Doesn't say much. Says Operations Director, Intelligence Manager, Remote Autonomous Systems, Special Forces, Green Beret, Greater Colorado Springs area. Although they're saying he's assigned to Germany, which would be 10th Special Forces Group. So people calling an Army officer. He's not an officer. He's a Special Operations Manager, Team Sergeant. You can't be a Team Sergeant if you're an officer. You have to be a Sergeant if you're a Sergeant, not an officer. So let's clarify that. What we got in the chat over here? When are country leaders who welcome half Islam at the borders going to learn that the sole purpose is to wipe out Christians take over? Well, Smee, fair question. Okay. Chris says, I can't remember. Okay, well, we'll say that Tusi and I both reported on it. Fair enough. And I doubt he actually watches my channel, so I'm sure he came to that conclusion on his own. Jonah says he has no reason to ever listen to you. He's well-resourced. Jonah. Apparently you have difficulty with sarcasm. All right? Difficulty with sarcasm. Last time I saw you were being disrespectful and insulting and rude to me on Ronaldo's channel. So let's see how it goes today. Yeah. Guilty of misunderstanding the Tesla guy's resume. I don't have military experience. He was in SF. He did work with drones. He emphasized he worked drones. You're not guilty of anything, Light Rain. You're guilty of the media misleading you because they don't understand. And so let me just be clear on this. I've talked about this many times. I've found it very frustrating over the past 20 years when I see someone who's, say, in uniform, arrested for child pornography. They'll splash the title, Army officer arrested for child pornography. Not that that's never occurred. I'm sure we've had a few Army officers and Navy officers who've been caught doing that horrible thing. But the number is infinitesimally small. What happens is that they take a private or a specialist. I've seen this multiple times. Specialists arrested in multiple vehicle homicide for driving drunk. But they don't say specialist, say Army officer. They're not an officer. Not everybody in the Army is an officer. In fact, of the 580,000 people in the Army, only about 74,000 are actually officers. And of those, 15,000 are warrant officers, which is a special category officers. The fact that NCOs are called non-commissioned officers, they're not officers. There's a difference. So anyway, it's not you. It's not you, Light Rain. You've done nothing wrong. It's the media who simply get it wrong. They do it all the time. It's like Colin Kaepernick when he took a knee saying, well, I don't mean to offend the military. It's not about the military, dude. It's about patriots. Taking a knee isn't something that it's necessarily offends a serving member of the military because they're in the military, but it would offend millions of patriots who love the country. Anyway, there was one caught for rape. I'll find his name. What, Army officer? I'm sure there was. Leavenworth is full of criminals who are in uniform, who diddled their kids, who stole, who were involved in corruption, murders. Oh, I remember a very, very prominent murder case when I was in Germany. This was, the trial was conducted in Hanau. This was a shocking one where a captain murdered his wife with a shotgun and tried to claim it was suicide. It was unbelievable. Yeah, no, it happens. It happens, but it's rare, thank God. So who were the people who were killed by the jihadists in New Orleans? Well, here's a couple of the 14 people he murdered. horrifically. Inkyra Cheyenne Dedo. That was her high school graduation in May. Her grandmother, Jennifer Smith, said, "She was a joy for the little time we had with her. It's hard to believe that she's gone." Inkyra Cheyenne Dedro's family in Gulfport, Mississippi learned Wednesday that the 18-year-old high school graduate had been celebrating New Year's Eve in New Orleans with her cousin, was among those killed in the attack. We didn't even know she was over there because I would have discouraged it. Miss Dedo, known as Biscuit to her family and close friends, was looking forward to starting school at Blue Cliff College later this month, where she planned to major in nursing. Wow. Reggie Hunter, 37, and his cousin Kevin Curry decided to make a quick trip down New Orleans from Baton Rouge to ring in the new year. Sherelle Jackson, another cousin, said on Wednesday that she last heard from Mr. Hunter through a family group chat, texting wishes and for a happy new year. She got a phone call from University Medical Center in New Orleans, and she rushed there, where she arrived an hour later. She discovered that Mr. Hunter, a father of two, had died from internal injuries. Tiger Beck, who was the former standout football player from the Ivy League, Princeton University, killed in the attack. St. Thomas More Catholic High School in Lafayette, Louisiana, where he graduated, played football, lacrosse, and track. He graduated in 2015. Yeah. Kadeem Badawi. Kadeem Badawi recently finished his first semester at University of Alabama, where he majored in mechanical engineering. He was killed. These are the people murdered by this jihadist scumbag. Well, San Francisco is getting a new mayor, being sworn in on January 8th next week. The new mayor of San Francisco is one of the heirs to Levi Strauss' fortune and a moderate Democrat. Can he restore the magical city by the bay? Don't count on it. A mayor with ties to the tech sector but no political experience plans to take a heavy-handed approach to turning the city around. A year ago, Daniel Lurie could move anonymously through the streets of his home city, but on a recent walking tour, the newly elected mayor was greeted as a celebrity. "Clean up the streets and the homeless, please," an older woman implored, shaking his hand vigorously. "We're going to," he responded. In recent years, no American metropolis has drawn more headlines about civic dysfunction than notably liberal San Francisco. Now the storied city's renaissance rests on Lurie, a moderate Democrat and Levi Strauss heir, whose victory over incumbent London Breed and 4 other City Hall veterans marked the first time since 1911 that voters here chose a mayor with no government experience. A reflection of an appetite for change. The 47-year-old assumes office on January 8th with plans for swift action on a myriad of problems that knock San Francisco from its tech boom heights. His initial agenda, declaring a fentanyl state of emergency, reinvigorating the depleted police force, and ordering his direct reports at City Hall back to the office full-time, is to set an example. Wow. 35% office vacancy rate is what San Francisco is seeing. It's a city that is collapsing, courtesy of demon rats who run it. All right, let me get back to the chat here. Any memberships? NWA is looking for a free membership. Sorry, that's up to people who making donations. Light Rain says, "I'm still confused that the Green Beret used fireworks to blow up a Tesla." Yeah, I don't know that Green Beret used fireworks to blow up a Tesla. I think they were probably put in there for distraction purposes. Just saying. Just saying. Also for secondary explosions. Anyway, all right. So, cool. All right, folks. What do you guys got to say? What do you guys got to say? So, once again, Light Rain, thank you for your comment. You notice I didn't point out it was you that said that thing. I just said that people are being misled. So, but you fessed up and said it was your fault and your blame, but there's no blame to be had. We all get things incorrect, especially when we're misled by the media. That's just the nature of things. So we do our best to get it correct. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Lots of people haven't hit that like button yet. Jono, have you hit the like button?
That was easy.
Piece of cake, man. You might have already done it. Or the dislike button if you prefer. Anyway, yeah, so from that press conference, there were a couple things that really stood out. One of which was that they were busy clapping, patting themselves on the back for doing a great job. Yet the thing that stood out most to me is that 23 hours after a violent jihadist attack, which killed 14 people, brutally, horrifically dying, being driven over by a truck, dying of internal injuries, suffering agonizing pain, and 2 improvised explosive devices placed ahead of time, caught on video camera and nothing done about it, bollards not in place to protect people on a highly trafficked pedestrian zone. 23 hours later, a crime scene that spreads out over hundreds of meters. They've cleaned the streets and have turned it back over to the public. Who does that? Who does that? This is insane. Cover up. Anyway, so they saw on video multiple people open up the coolers, which had improvised explosive devices in them on Bourbon Street in the corner of Orleans Street and another 2 blocks away. Multiple people. Ooh, looky there. Ooh, what's that, a bomb? Close the lid and walk away. Who does that? I think most people be like, damn, hey, man, hey, somebody get a cop. Somebody get a cop. I'm not letting go of this lid till they get a dog over here because I might set it off. That would be most people's reaction. Wow, people looked inside the coolers and did nothing. They didn't report it to the police. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Chris says his like button was stolen. Use a different device. Still confused. The green beret. Yeah, okay, so. Hey, Gary Wild, how's it going, man? Stephanie Michael, welcome back to you. Good to see you again. Perilous times indeed. Crazy stuff. It's cray-cray time here in the United States. Absolutely crazy. So, man, oh man. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. I want to take a close gander over here at my latest video. And it's not my latest. Well, yeah, come on, YouTube. I think someone's spying on me, slowing down my stuff. So my latest video, which is now, come on, a little faster. There we go. It is now been posted for an hour and 45 minutes, has 1,100 views, which is a little bit more than average. Nothing exciting. Who are you calling a baboon? Yep. And then my previous one, Uns Fati Kaki. Mitchell's Plains residents strike back. That one is still going, although it's starting to taper off. Bummer. We're hoping to get a lot more views. That one is at 21,600. A lot of subscribers picked up from that. And if the subscribers coming on the channel happen to be colored South Africans, welcome to you. We love colored South Africans here. A illustrious and tortured history. Very fascinating group of peoples, whether you're Cape Kapsa, or you are Griquas, or you are a whole host of other groups. Cape Malays, just straight on coloreds, whatever you consider yourselves. Welcome to the program. A special affinity for colored South Africans here, among others. Light Rain says, I totally understand an actual officer be offended when the media throws your titles around like your sacrifice. Yeah, no, and it's not so much that though, Light Rain. I mean, you could infer that because I'm a retired colonel, I took offense to it. But as a lieutenant, as a sergeant, I took offense to it. You know, you don't call someone something they're not. It's just, it's basic stuff. It's like when I watch a television program and they have people, or in a movie, and they're in the military and they've got hair over their ears, or they've got, 3 days of not shaving. I watched Bosch. I love the show Bosch. Oh, what an incredible show Bosch is. It's one of my favorites. And in an episode, they go to, it's in the second or third season, I think third season. Bosch goes to an apartment of a guy who was in the military. Now, he's no longer in the military, okay? So the military has no jurisdiction over him. Yet they send a female sergeant with a non-regulation haircut, wearing a hat inside without a weapon. She's military police supposed to be. She has no weapon. You can't wear a hat inside unless you're under arms. Wearing a hat inside in an apartment, and she's standing at parade rest when the police are walking around. She goes, and she's like, yes, sir, yes, sir, no, sir, no, sir. And this is totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Now, to be fair, the uniform was mostly correct, but I just find it absolutely ridiculous and pathetic. It's so easy to do to get this correct, but instead they mislead the public and give people false impressions about the military. First off, the incidences of criminal activity in the military are far lower than the general public, although they've been climbing in recent years. Far lower. The number of rapes, murders, incest, theft, corruption, those things are much lower because we have higher standards than the civilian population. Also, we have tools to enforce that. We have non-judicial punishment, which can destroy a career and end your possibility of getting retirement. Whereas if you work in the civil sector, you get arrested for something like, being drunk in New Orleans. They can't fire you from your job unless you're an executive and you got a contract, something like that. So yeah. When is Ronaldo back? I don't know, Alan. He's dealing with a family situation in which someone passed away. We didn't do our program yesterday, and I don't think he's broadcasting today. We wouldn't anyway. It's Thursday, isn't it? Today's Thursday. Yeah, so no rugby this weekend, by the way, folks. I'm not doing any rugby because all it's playing is English Premier and I don't really care for that. So nothing to cover this weekend. But yeah, oh, by the way, that other video is now over 40,000. That's cool. Thank you. 41,200, and it's still doing okay. That's the one on knobs. So thank you for that, folks. Pretty cool. So the first one died off. That was the Snakes on a Plane. I thought that was pretty cool to use that movie title for Snakes on a Plane. Not original. I just borrowed it. So anyway, yeah. So, what else? Yeah, we're up to 60,000 hours in the last 60,000 views in the last 48 hours. That's cool. Gary says, screw peoples of color. I think what you mean by that is screw the concept there are peoples of color. We're all brothers and sisters. Well, yeah. But some brothers and sisters have had to deal with things far more difficult than other brothers and sisters. We all face challenges in life. Any clarity about the drones in the skies? Stephanie, I did a story on that, and it's published on my my Substack. Are you aware of that story, Stephanie? If you've read the story, then it'll answer your question specifically. And Neville's stepping away for his mom, no doubt. So I talked about that, and I published that story. It was actually published in a local newspaper here in central Pennsylvania this past week, and I published on my Substack prior to that. Sue says, I worry that 18 days... Yes, I worry about what's going to happen with, what they can, you worry about what events could derail Trump's administration. I worry about another attempt on Trump's life. Misrepresent police behavior to give people the idea they have no rights. Correct. Yep. Police dramas do that, and police also do that. So what I always find fascinating, and I don't have a beef with it, but police can lie to you. But if you lie to them, you can be charged with a crime. That's fascinating. That is fascinating, but it's true. So, yeah. And that's what got Martha Stewart in trouble. She lied to the feds, they claim. They never proved she lied. They couldn't prove the underlying crime, so they convicted her and made her a felon and put her in a federal penitentiary based on her lying to investigators. So for those accused of crimes, those concerned about being accused of crimes. So, Stephanie, are you aware of my Substack? Have you read it? Just please answer that question so I know. Otherwise, we'll get you a link to it. So let me just find this very quickly here. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment of an indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, and property without due process. So the Fifth Amendment. So should law enforcement come to you and you've done anything that might be considered incorrect, whether it's incorrect or not, you have any concerns, ladies and gentlemen, here is the following advice. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? No statement, no poly, no waiver. Say it with me. No statement, no poly, no waiver. I invoke my Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. No statement. I offer no statement. I will take no polygraph, and will not waive my rights. Attorney. And for those who speak Spanish, avocat. Okay, cool. I'll get you that. Cool beans. So the local paper's website is out of date. They didn't publish it online, so I can't get that to you. So I can get you the Substack, though. Okay, here's the link to my Substack. Okay, there you go. Ooh, where are we at? Come on over here. So here's the link, and for anyone who wants to become a subscriber on my Substack, feel free to do that. I publish there infrequently, but occasionally I put stuff on there. So there's the link to the Substack if you want to check it out. You're welcome, Stephanie. Thanks for being here. So again, no statement, no poly, no waiver. I'm making no statements to the law enforcement. I am not taking a polygraph, and I will not waive my rights. There you go, folks. That's the best advice, even if you're innocent, if you've done something wrong. Because law enforcement will twist. There you go. Is that really what it's called in Afrikaans? I'm going to check that. I don't know if you're trying to get me to say something bad. I want to see if you're trying to get me to say something bad, because people do that occasionally. Okay, so attorney. Aha, I thought so. That's a bad word. Procureur is an attorney. Nice try, Neville. Nice try. I thought that was a bad word. Yep. America thinks we, the people, are dumb. Huh? America doesn't think people are dumb. Politicians might think that, but not America. We don't think people are dumb. Where are you getting that from? Come on, man. What you talking about, Willis? Oh, Vilma, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Make sure you don't forget to hit that like button. Hey, the acetaminophen's working. My headache is diminished significantly since I came online. Yeah, exactly. I knew it was a crook. It's a bad word. Yeah, they're not. That's not what an attorney is. Anyway, that's what people call attorneys all over the world. So anyway, it's not unique to South Africa. Anyway, it's a busy, busy world, folks. Busy day. Lots going on. It's just crazy with things. We had the press conference earlier, which we covered here on the program. And hang on a second. I'm looking for something here. Okay, no, there's no response there. Yeah, so what else we got here? Okay, hang on a second. So 72 likes. Hit that like button, folks.
That was easy.
I think I'm running out of steam here for the day. I've still got work to do. It's kind of early in the day to be running out of steam. It's only 1 o'clock. Yikes. All right, so, the drone panic fad is now the fog panic fad. These all contain a bit of truth blown out of proportion for clicks. Maybe. I didn't make my drone video for clicks. I reported on the drone situation for well over a year before I produced a single video about it. And only because people were panicking, that's why I did the video. And so let me get to my Substack, and I'll read some of the text of that. So drones here, there, and everywhere. Okay. All right. And this is my conclusion. It's a long article, but in it I said, what we're collectively seeing is no doubt a combination of bias confirmation, actual UAVs operating by law enforcement, hobbyists, and Chinese-sponsored spies, as well as light aircraft. But the mum is the word approach by the Biden administration in an era of clickbait social media is not helpful. The feds look as if they have no idea what's going on, nor what different parts of the same government are doing in response. The problem is a lack of leadership throughout the federal government and a stubborn tendency to avoid transparency. President-elect Trump recently claimed the government knows what's going on. That's what I said. Yeah, so that was my ultimate analysis on that. Take an afternoon nap. I don't need one of those. Go get a Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. Calvin Terry says, I've been an admirer of yours for many years. Your show is clear, precise, and honest. Carry on, good work. You're a star. Always listen to your show. Take care. Calvin, well, thank you. I don't recall you ever chatting. Are you trying to give me encouragement to keep it going? Thank you for that. I'd like to say, in my view, I think that my videos the past 2 days covering these issues with Knobs and Mkhize, with the Food Lovers Court, my comments on the Collards and Mitchell's plane response, I think they've been very objective, very fair to all sides, and very accurate, which we're not seeing from the media. So I'd like to, pat myself on the back for a moment. But thank you, Calvin. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wish millions more people would see the content. Yeah. But hey, we just keep going. So it does involve a lot of time. But I do need to let you guys know this. It's in the groups. Hang on a second. Where's this at? There it is. Let me get this. So copy link. I will be appearing tonight. Now, for South Africans, it's going to be a bit late. You're probably not going to watch this. It's going to be 4 a.m. But I will be appearing tonight on the Raising Cain show and talking about a host of things, fighting terror, securing borders, and protecting our future. So Raising Cain tonight with Nate Cain. And then I'll also be on Tuesday afternoon. This one's something that South Africans can catch on his radio show. I don't know if that's terrestrial or if it's broadcast on social media as well. But I will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, which would be 9 o'clock South Africa time in the evening. So I'll be on Raising Cain. So they sent me a list of questions. Oops. There's my mortgage payment. Yeah. Okay. Make sure I got that. Mortgage payment. There's my insurance. Oh, I got to get those out. That's my insurance cards for my cars. Got to put those in my car, so otherwise I won't have proof of insurance when I'm running around. Okay. Oh, I also want to call these guys about that. And questions for the show. So anyway, yeah, they sent me 8 questions about that they're going to ask me tonight for the show, so I'm going to work on that. Anyway, I wanted it to go so bad. What's this? I wanted to go bad so you can leave. I don't know what you're saying there, man. Who said that Biden's going to stop the inauguration? He can't do that. So is that what people are trying to say? Anyway, not going to happen. Not going to happen. He can't pull that off. So anyway, drones. So I did that, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I liked it. Not everybody does. So we're getting some more subscribers. A little bit of traction this week with a lot of work going into these videos is getting us a little bit of traction. A little bit of traction, I should say, not attraction. Maybe there is a attraction, don't know. But certainly traction this week as we see the subscriber count climb slightly, but more than it has in a couple months. Just a couple of days ago on the 28th of December, so 29, 30, 31, 1, 2. So in the last 5 days, we've now gained, let's see, just short of 500 subscribers. So if we gain 100 subscribers per day, that's pretty good. We haven't done that in ages. By comparison, going all the way back to the beginning of December, we only gained like 21 subscribers over the course of December before I start putting those videos out. So for the people who come on and say, you never talk about good news about South Africa, you never say good things, I do. You just aren't paying attention. And the problem is that people don't watch it. They don't watch it. Like my Ruud Constantia video. Let's go look for that and see what's if that's even got 1,000 views yet. So across your channel, Ruud Constantia. Okay, come on. Stupid thing. All right, let's go to the 982 video. We seriously cannot get to 1,000 views in that video. When I published it, it got 534 in the first 4 days. Now, here we are. Now, that was on the original channel. I put on this channel. It doesn't even have 1,000 views. 982 views. That's a good news story. Anyway. Thank you, Gabriel. Happy New Year to you as well. Richard says, got stopped at a roadblock politely. The cops handed over license before he asked. Asked what? What's going on there? Reporting an actual drone activity isn't predatory attention seek. I meant the million other questionable videos that you were pointing out. Yours was sober analysis. Well, thank you for that, Light Rain. Yeah, no. Exactly. No, but people do that all the time. I try to avoid it. Although I had a little, not fun, but I tried something different on Twitter yesterday when the Trump hotel thing took place. I went on Twitter and actually posted the video, kind of initially like breaking news because it was available to everybody. So let me just take a look and see if that's gotten any views. Hang on a second. There it is. Oh, yeah, 1,900, which for me is a lot of views. 1,987. That's a lot of views for me on Twitter. So. And the other one had 765. So, hey, and I gained a few followers. So, well, clickbait, I suppose. It wasn't my intent. I actually gave a modest amount of analysis based on what little information was available. So, anyway, yep, that's what I did. So, who was shot? Who was shot? What are you guys talking about there? Am I missing something in the chat? I don't see anything about somebody being shot here. Anyway. There are people in your country trying to disrupt your country. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. And Fanny Maritz has just subscribed, I suspect from watching one of my videos. Thank you for that, Fanny. I appreciate your subscription. That's pretty cool. Let's see if it actually showed the new subscription because it was 641. Now, if it's 642, we'll know that YouTube is telling the truth. Come on, YouTube. A little faster. Oh, 643. 2 more people subscribe. Wow, YouTube. Wow. My top 3 videos in the last 48 hours, 21,800 for one, 15,100 for another, and 12,900 for the third one. That's pretty good. Yeah, we are not going to see the inauguration stopped. There may be an effort to do it, but we're not going to see it. All right, folks, it is it's almost 8:30 in South Africa. I've been on for an hour here, plus we're on for another 45 minutes for the previous one. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and thank you all for being with us today. I may be doing an analysis video about the Las Vegas thing and the Special Forces guy to put on my @Real Chris Wyatt. If I do that, it'll be in a few hours from now, so you can look for it on there. But that story's still unfolding, so it may be prudent just to wait a little bit longer. Did you ever touch on the Elon versus MAGA loyal? I did. I didn't make a prepared video for it, Jaya. I can discuss it right now before we go very quickly. The whole thing is a fabricated division in the MAGA world, the MAGA universe, being perpetrated by leftists like Don Lemonhead and a host of others who are talking about the rift in the MAGA world. What is going on here is that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have made some stupid comments and followed them up with even dumber comments insulting people who voted for Trump. And it was wholly unnecessary. It's a self-inflicted wound, but it doesn't derail anything. The bottom line here is that we have H-1B visas. We have 60,000 or whatever it is total every year, and they play a role. But Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy saying that we need these people is dishonest and disingenuous. Generally speaking, highly talented people coming to the country, getting high-paying jobs, playing a role in the tech industry and the medical fields are very useful for our country. Absolutely. But when Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy try to claim we need more of these people coming here, we need more because we don't have enough, that's dishonest and it's a lie. In 2024, the tech industry in America fired 50,000 workers. 50,000. The overwhelming majority of those people fired from the tech industry were Americans. So we have thousands of Americans available to work in the tech industry who are highly qualified and highly skilled, but they don't want them, because they have to pay them more than the imports who are dependent and are basically beholden to the people who sponsor their visa. So, very dishonest. Also, Elon Musk, telling fairy tales, not knowing what he's talking about. Vivek Ramaswamy blaming the lack of U.S. STEM graduates on American culture and American sloth, which no doubt plays a role in some of the population, but it doesn't explain how a country of 330 million is not meeting its need. Well, we're not meeting its need because 38% of the population is being discriminated against, discouraged, mistreated, abused, and suffering from racism, bigotry, oppressive racial laws, and misandry. And that is white males in this country who used to be 85-90% of the engineers, mathematicians, scientists, computer technicians, and coders in this country until they were ostracized and driven from those very fields. And therefore, we have a shortage of people in those fields because you're promoting minorities, or even if you promote all minorities, aren't enough of them to fill those gaps, and promoting women. And we have an overabundance of women in STEM. Over 60% of all graduates for the past 25 years have been in STEM fields, have been women, not men. And when you throw in the number of foreign nationals in there, you'll see that white men have gone from 85-90% of the field down in some cases to less than 10 or 15% of certain fields like astronomy. And why is that? Because of bigotry, racism, misandry, and DEI. That's a bigger problem with developing STEM graduates in America than it is Americans are lazy, which is what Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to claim. So there you go. I hope that answers the question, Jaya. I've talked about it. Maybe I'll make a video at some point, but I haven't been motivated to do it. Obviously, I had not been drinking. The cop was... Richard, I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't see anything about what's going on here. I mean, I didn't say you were drinking. I didn't see your comments. I was just asking what's going on. You're saying, obviously, I had not been drinking. Hello, sir. The cop was, hello, baby, to my granddaughter, safely held to my daughter. We were in camera. No worries, not being... I don't know what you're talking about. Did something bad happen? Anyway, thanks. Yeah, video would be good if you have time. Yeah, I'll try to do it. Yeah. But look, yesterday, man, all the way through till 9 o'clock last night, my entire day was full making videos. Put 2 videos on my real Chris Wyatt. I put a video on this channel. Plus I did a live broadcast in here yesterday, and I did a radio program last night. There's only so much time. It's just me. I don't have a team. I do all the research. I do all the scheduling. I do all the editing. I do it all. It takes time. If I was just expected to be the on-air talent or the person that speaks and researches and writes like most people in the media do, or like some of these famous, this Tusi guy that Jono was, not Jono, who was talking about that earlier? Jono, the Tusi guy, the Iranian who does stuff, Mayor Tusi or whatever. He's got a whole staff of people. He's making tons of money and great on him. And his content apparently is fantastic. But it's easy to be fantastic when you don't have to do all the work. When you've got to do it all, it takes time. So, Jay, I'll think about doing it, a video on that subject. So, yeah. Anyway. I want to do a live stream on it to interact with the audience, but I just don't think many people would tune in, so I haven't done it. Anyway, I'm going to take a break here for a few minutes and then get right back to things. So what's this? Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Okay. Hey, Chris, just rub some dirt on it. I have a wound. All right. And I'm not even getting the exercise that I want. And Ferdy Schultz just gave a 100 Rand super chat. Thank you, Ferdy. Boy, I wasn't expecting that at the end of the broadcast. It's very kind of you. All right, folks, be safe. Love one another. Be kind to one another. Observe the golden rule. And don't fall for the nonsense from the mainstream media. All right, that's going to do it. God bless. And unless something breaks, we'll catch you tomorrow on Friday. Wow, it'll be Friday. Cool beans. That's exciting. Always Friday. But this weekend I'll have to do rugby, so maybe I get some exercise in. Cheers, everybody.